afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stock Market Today. You have Alyssa Corbin here, and I am joined by Ken Shreve. On this Monday, we're going to break down the action for the major indexes and take a look under the surface. There was some pretty interesting action today, Ken.
Yeah, most definitely. Nasdaq closed well off session lows, and we're going to take a look at three stocks today that help buoy the Nasdaq: Apple, Shopify, and Advanced Micro Devices.
That we will. First, a look at the Nasdaq, which was able to close almost flat today, just down fractionally, 7 points. And we had the Dow lagging a bit, down 0.9% for the day. The S&P 500 down about 0.5%. So as you can see on this chart here, and as you mentioned, Ken, very impressive to see the Nasdaq close roughly flat, coming well off of those lows for the day.
I mean, the Nasdaq Composite was down about 1.5% intraday. So to see it pair all those losses, pretty positive performance. A lot of selling in the Dow today, a lot of selling in small caps, but Nasdaq 100 had several nice gainers today.
Yeah, so let's take a look at some of those, kicking things off with Advanced Micro Devices, ticker AMD. A huge day today, up about 6.3%. Heavy turnover, a nice breakout from this double bottom, Ken. And we were also eyeing some earlier entry points last week, but a very convincing breakout today.
Yeah, convincing breakout today with the volume. You can see an alternate kind of early pivot here of 87.05, but we kind of said that it kind of limped through the pivot there. Really didn't have much volume when it crossed that early entry. But volume today was very heavy. The conventional entry of 88.72, add 10 cents, so 88.82 was the buy point. It closed about 4% above that entry, so it's near the top of that 5% buy zone, but technically still in buy range. CEO Lisa Su was at a investment conference today talking about what she believes is going to be strong PC demand stretching out well into 2021. So that brought buyers into AMD stock today.
Yeah, and this was one of the ones that we were eyeing in the early going on IBD Live this morning as it was breaking out, and really before it got to the levels that it closed at today. And like you said, it's still within that 5% buy zone, but more experienced investors want to get in as close to those proper buy points as possible so you can withstand some of those pullbacks. So again, this was one that we were talking about in the early going. And next on our list, another stock mentioned early on IBD Live is Shopify, also having a nice day today. It gained some 5.4%, adding to gains after clearing a downward sloping trend line late last week.
Yeah, and a lot of buyers in Shopify today. You can see volume was well above average, picked up quite a bit from recent sessions, and there's a nice move higher today. So Shopify, what they do is they operate a cloud-based platform where small and medium-sized businesses basically run their e-commerce operations. So Shopify today said their Black Friday, global Black Friday e-commerce sales, 2.4 billion across their platforms, and that was up 75% year over year. So Shopify continues to be a pretty compelling growth story. You can see it's in sort of like this long sideways consolidation. Might have had an early entry today, but some people will probably wait for this thing to see if it can, break out of this long consolidation. It's been trading sideways, but nice buyers in the stock today, and we'll see if it can eventually break out to new highs.
Yeah, a lot of attention on Shopify with us being in the thick of the holiday shopping season. And last but not least, Apple, a familiar name to all, but one that we haven't really talked about a while on this show, Ken. Apple gaining over 2% today, edging above a downward sloping trend line in today's session. Looks like it may have come off of those intraday highs a bit, but volume pretty notable here for Apple today as well.
Yeah, a little bit of a disappointing close for Apple. It was trading near its highs most of the session, and we got a little bit of sellers come in late in Apple stock, but Apple was strong today after Loop Capital upgraded shares to buy from hold. They're talking about strong iPhone 12 demand, strengthen their services business, MacBooks, Mac computers, just really painting a bullish scenario for Apple into 2021. So kind of a disappointing close. It did have an early entry today, a nice little breakout over a trend line. Apple is still far off its highs, but sometimes these little breakouts over trend lines can give you early entry. So it was a disappointing close for Apple, but we can see the stock trading. Well, it was trading a little bit higher in after hours. So good day for Apple, but disappointing to see some sellers come into the stock late.
And with the stock closing around that 119 level, maybe the next level for the stock to clear, in addition to that round 120, might be resistance at this 121.99 level. So we'll definitely be keeping tabs on this one. It's hard to not keep tabs on Apple, but we'll definitely do that. All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in today. A lot of interesting action, as we mentioned, and the discussions will continue tomorrow morning on IBD Live. That's, of course, our daily morning live stream where our experts are sharing their screens. And today was the end of the month. So we will have also more content for you on our leaderboard and swing trader platforms, Ken, which you are a part of. We have our monthly scorecard webinars the first week of every month. So those are happening this week. I believe, Ken, correct me if I'm wrong, leaderboard on Tuesday, swing trader on Wednesday at around 1:30 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, 1:30 Pacific time on Tuesday will be leaderboard. Basically, we're just going to go over the month of November, take a look at stocks that we added, maybe stocks that we trimmed. It was a pretty busy month on leaderboard, and then on Wednesday, Justin and Chris will be doing the swing trader scorecard, and that is also Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Perfect. We look forward to you joining us for those special monthly webinars. In addition to IBD Live tomorrow morning, you can check that out at investors.com/IBD Live. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you back here tomorrow.